Okay, so it's 7:33. I'll start the lesson. Then for those who log in, I'll just catch up with them wherever they log in from. So my name is Coach Andrew. You can text me in the chat if you need to ask me any questions. I'm from Aspire Hub, so one of the coaches at Aspire Hub. I'm conducting this tutorial on behalf of 88 Tuition. So if you have any questions, you can direct either to 88 Tuition or myself in the chat box, and then we will try and get those questions answered. Okay, focus of today, narrative compre, how to answer inferential questions. Of course, we also want to remember that editing is an important part of the paper. So the first exercise will be an editing exercise. Then I'll go through inferential questions, and then we'll probably end off with a current affairs exercise if we have time at the end. Okay, so you can once again go into the portal, try and pull up your worksheet. If not, you can look at the questions on the screen and you can also work on them. Okay, it's our first lesson, so I'll run through the house rules. Try to turn on your camera and mute your microphone unless you need to speak. Why mute your microphone? To avoid the crosstalk and disturbance that comes when too many microphones are activated. If you need to ask a question, answer a question, or share feedback, then you can use the message function, and then we'll see your message in the chat box. While I'm talking, okay, so while I'm talking, right, if you have anything urgent, then click on the raise hand, and then I'll invite you to unmute yourself, then you can speak. Then if you need to be excused for any reason, if you need to log off, or if you need to be away, let me know. This is for attendance purposes. Let me know, and then I'll just come back as soon as possible. And then I think for Sec 4, we probably heard this a lot in school as well as your tuition. Just be respectful to each other, okay? A little respect goes a long way, so we can learn better together if there's a atmosphere and cultural respect for this class. Any questions at this point in time? So if not, go to the first slide. Okay, so today we'll be covering three things: editing, narrative compre, and current affairs. So by now, being Sec 4, you would know the instructions for editing. Okay, the text will have 12 lines. The first and last lines are usually correct. Then for 8 of the lines, there would be one grammatical error each line. There are 2 more lines with no errors. So the online worksheet is a bit different from school because you can't really circle. Okay. We just need you to take note of the correct word and write the correct word in the space provided. Okay, so I'll mention again, for the online worksheet, it's a bit different. So you just need to take note of the incorrect word and write the correct word in the space provided. If there's no error in the line, then put a Y in the space provided. This then the system will mark the worksheet for you. Okay. Can I have a show of hands if everyone is in the online worksheet already? Okay. If not, if you can't get into the online worksheet, then you can refer to what's on my screen. Then you can type your answers into the chat box. That will also work. Okay. So I'll show you the first half, the first 5 questions. Then if you need to work on this, you can maybe type your correct answers into the chat box. Okay, so this will be the first half of the editing passage, the first 5 questions. If you, yeah, you can either do this in the online page, or you can also type your answers straight into the chat, and then we will have a discussion. Okay, I'll leave this on screen for a couple of minutes more, then we can move to the next half of the passage. And then after that, I will read through the editing exercise with the suggested answers. Okay, so these were the first 5 questions. I'm going to change the slide over to the next one for the next 5 questions. So editing, as you know by now, there are 10 questions for you to consider. 8 of them will be fixing errors and 2 of them will be placing a tick. So look at these accordingly. Okay, this is the second half of the editing exercise. Yeah, I'm not seeing any answers in my chat box, so it'll be good if you can type your answers in and then we can have a discussion together. For future weeks, the online worksheet will be online a few days before the lesson. So, sorry. Okay, for future weeks, the worksheet will be online a few days before the lesson, so you can try the worksheet and then you can come in and then we can have a better discussion once I can see what input you put into the lesson. For today being the first one, it's okay. You can just access the worksheet online. Later on for the Compre questions, we will go through the question one by one together. And then of course, if you would like me to check on your answers, you can just pop it into the chat box. Okay, so first lesson blues, guys. Sorry. we'll get the worksheet online for you guys from lesson 2 onwards. A few days before the lesson, then you can try them out, try the questions out. Okay, so it's 7:43 now. I'll run through the suggested answers in 3 to 4 minutes time. So you can read through this bit and try to answer the next 5 questions. They are on the screen. Okay, I'll run through the answers. So first page. So I'll read through and then I'll explain some of the errors. Okay, and then if you have anything to clarify, let me know. So history has taught us that humans are the most curious and smartest. This is the first line. No error in this line, definitely. Okay. Living organism on the planet. There are many humans on the planet. So we need to change the singular to plural. So the answer is going to be organisms on the planet. And as a result of this, we invent new things. Despite the fact that we have hardly spent 15 years in there will be no error in line 2. Okay, we continue, new millennium. Our century is already full of great and not so great inventions. Tense, okay, we want to change it to a present tense. Our century is already full of great and not so great inventions. Our century is not yet over. Number 4, inventions which remind us that no matter how advanced society might be, so advanced is a word form error, okay? Human curiosity never fails to seek out new advancements, and then we'll continue on the next slide. Number 5 is one of the errors that you might make in your essays as well, your subject-verb agreement error. So what do you need to do for subject-verb agreement? Okay, you need to ensure that the subject and the verb agree in number. So a singular subject, singular verb, plural subject, plural verb. Always identify the main subject and then make sure you use an appropriate corresponding verb. So in this case, human curiosity never fails to seek out new advancements and technologies. Number 6, there's no error. Nathan, thanks for your answer. So you're correct. Number 6, there's no error in the line. In school, you put a tick. For the online worksheet, you just need to put a Y. For example, scientists have created a bio-artificial liver device which gives hope to all those suffering from acute liver failure. We use the word who as a pronoun when you're referring to people. In this case, it's a device, it's a thing. Hence, we will use the pronoun which, that. In comparison, a Dutch artist has been making indoor clouds since 2010. So we will change the word form from comparing to comparison. Number 9, they only last for a moment and will definitely help anyone who is trying to impress others. The moment, we need to change the article here. Articles indicate specificity. Okay, so the article the is a definite article. We're referring to something specifically. A or an would be an indefinite article where we are not referring to specific items. Here, they only last for a moment, so we're not referring to any specific moment for this article, for the use of this article. Nathan, you have written down the change to a. Yeah, you're correct. And the last one, you're also correct. So Nathan, you have gotten all 5 correct. Question 6 to question 10. Okay? They only last for a moment and will definitely help anyone who is trying to impress others with surrealistic photos. So this is a preposition. Prepositions are used to identify relationships between words. Okay? In this case, the relationship you are trying to impress others with the photos that you have, the surrealistic photos. But one wonders, what are the use or contribution to society this bizarre invention could have? The bizarre invention, of course, would be the machine from the Dutch artist that can create indoor clouds. Okay, so that was a quick editing exercise. Editing is important for you guys. It's an important part of paper 1. So for the next few tutorials, we'll always be starting off with the editing exercise. And then hopefully in the next few weeks, we can all put in our answers in the chat box. Now we go to the main focus of today's lesson. Narrative Compre. I will be running through some of this material on the next few slides. I won't be running through everything, okay? I will make reference back to this set of slides in future lessons if I need to. Narrative Compre, as the name suggests, it is narrative. That is the text type, okay? And the text will likely appear as part of a longer narrative, part of a longer story. Okay, so there are 3 things to take note of when it comes to Compre. You need to look